2, 1. Hey, Digital Ramblers, how are you? JJ Cannon, Kris Gamble, and I hope everybody is in good health and doing appropriate distancing during this interesting time.
We're doing the ultimate distancing, JJ. I think we're like 4,000 miles apart, something like that.
Yeah, we've been practicing ultimate distancing for, I don't know, like 2 years now.
Yeah, but things are changing a lot. You know, just before we went to hit record on this episode, we've just been told in the UK that we're going to go into a period of roughly 3 weeks of lockdown. And this is how quickly things have changed. And we're going to talk today about the challenges we're facing both as small business owners in the industry that we're in. And hopefully people watching this will either get a perspective of what it's like, the challenges of running a business in these times. And if other business owners are tuning in, maybe it'll give them some comfort, or it'll give them some heads up on how others are coping with it, because you know you're not getting that networking opportunities that you regularly would get day to day, week to week, interacting with other people in your business. So yeah, we're gonna tackle the challenges that we're facing right now.
Yeah, Gamble, it's interesting times right now. Small businesses in these challenging times is what our topic is for season 12, episode 65. And we greatly appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting us over these last several years. If you want to find out more about the Digital Ramble, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, as well as a variety of different podcast streaming services. You ready to get into this, Gamble?
Let's go. Yeah, let's get right into this topic.
All right, Gamble. Running a small business in these challenging times, man. Overnight, it seems like overnight, everything has been turned on its head.
For sure. It's something that maybe you would expect if there was, it's on the scale of like a war. This is what I would imagine the disruption would be if World War III, and God forbid that ever happens, but it's that kind of scale. This is totally global. It's not isolated to a country, a region, a religion, a race, a sex, or it's completely taken a grip of the whole globe. And although the news that we get in our region is very weighted to our country, dig a bit deeper, you can see that every country is struggling with what's taking a grip on their nations and the burden it's having on their health systems, healthcare systems, particularly in the UK. We're seeing it really coming under strain. So I'd like to say, if anything, big thank you to all the health workers in our country and across the globe. In the UK, National Health Service just did a fantastic job. So we're really thankful for their efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've been calling this a global reset. You know, normally whenever challenges happen around the globe, it's to isolated areas. And, you know, other parts of the globe can kind of go on with their daily normal lives. And, you know, this is something that's truly global. It's a war around the world, per se, of an invisible enemy that we're all trying to defeat. And, you know, our governments are really trying their best to, I feel, protect their people from something that we can't see. But at the same time, Gamble, it's really bringing all economies to a halt, to our knees. And, you know, the recovery and, you know, the true battle, I think, is not necessarily only lying in this illness that people are succumbing to, but to our economy and the infrastructure of our countries.
Yeah, and again, in a short period of time, the effects on the economy have been catastrophic. And if we take it down to a more local level, you know, we're seeing lots and lots of businesses closing from their daily services and whatever they're offering, but they're now at the stage where they're letting go of staff. Even in my family circle, people have lost their jobs, have been notified of that already. only a couple of days really after things really ramped up here. It was quite quickly people were let go of their jobs. I've had clients who run bigger businesses than my business who've told me, Kris, I've had to let 50 staff go, 70 staff go, 100 staff go. Now, there has been government support to help these businesses, and I'm hoping that some of these businesses that have let people go will be able to use that money to not let these people go. And that's been a huge effort by our government here in the UK to support businesses. And there's still things to be ironed out for people that are self-employed. But on the whole, our government has reacted well to supporting small businesses, which is a relief, because normally you'd expect to not get that help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing that has really made something obvious to me, Gamble, is how fine we all operate on fine margins, and how truly everybody's relying on that next job to come through to help sustain, regardless of if you're a small business owner or a big business owner. Being down for a week has really been a revelation of, holy cow, I thought almost I was the only one that was living so narrow to the margin, and in reality it seems like almost a norm. And I don't know if this is a positive reset. Everybody really gets a chance to pump the brakes and reevaluate how they operate their business or how they want to go forward. What does it truly expose is happening financially with all industry, not just ours.
The frailties have been exposed from businesses at the very top of the tree all the way down to the small businesses like us. We all live month to month, project to project. That's reality of any business size. The positives that will come out of it is when we get a chance to go back to work. So we might, when that happens, who knows, but I'm sure people will learn a heck of a lot of lessons from this in terms of contingencies, the way they contract staff, the way that they have credit with supply chain and where their product comes from, and look at diversification in their business. How can they survive something like this happening again? Does it mean that their business should be more digital, online? That has the traditional type of business of having your shop front and selling goods. Will that ever make a comeback as in the way that we've had it in the past? Will these businesses finally be pushed to being online businesses and dealing with a cashless society going forwards, which is something that I've noticed just in the last few weeks? Businesses saying no cash, we accept zero cash, all digital payments, all contactless payments. That's come out in the last few weeks in the UK, which is okay for me because I've used Apple Pay and contactless payments for a number of years. But there's things out there that are just different from what it was just a week or so ago.
Yeah. I don't know if I could go with the cashless system by any means, just because who controls the button to access to your resources and your funds? I mean, that just, I'm for options, but I don't think it should transition from one to the other, although different forms of payment has changed over the years, over the centuries. I mean, they used to pay in shells, and then in true gold coins and then to paper. And, I guess we're just one toe away from actually stepping into true digital currency. But it just seems like, I don't know, man, like every types of change, it seems just a little anxious for me to do it. I don't want to do it during my time, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess one of the biggest challenges for our businesses and what we do, installing technology in people's homes, is what happens to our businesses when we can't go into people's homes? Either their homes are in isolation or there's a nationwide lockdown that you can't just be transiting between people's homes and construction sites and suppliers. My supply chain are announcing they're closing their offices, their branches, their trade counters for a period, and customers are saying, don't come to my house in the nicest possible way. We don't need that work done. And the only things that have really come through are the urgent tasks, like make sure we get this connected before we go into lockdown. Make sure this is done before before it's too late, because it's an essential thing like heating, lighting, connectivity, internet, telephone, things like that. So when it's been a critical service, those types of jobs have actually been brought forward, and people are grateful that the services can be provided quickly.
Yeah, here it's kind of been categorized and left up to the states and then also to the counties, just depending on what the liabilities are to those states. It seems like some states are a little bit more vulnerable than others. In our area, our distribution has done a fantastic job of isolating their staff, as well as providing the hardware necessary to fulfill our jobs. Those that come up, it seems like a lot of our needs are in the Wi-Fi and in the network, since a lot of people are officing from the house, and they are asking that we can come out and provide that service. Our services here in the States are registered as essential, and I do ask that the integrators, please be in good health prior and use good etiquette in going into people's homes, booties or no shoes, gloves or hand sanitizer, face masks if you can have access to them, and just treat your clients with the utmost respect whenever you are processing whatever project. But Wi-Fi has been a big one for us, Campbell. Security systems seems to be on the uptick for us as well. The Ring programs are really being embraced for our clientele right now. It's a new program that was just launched by RingX. And what else? Pretty much those are the two staples that people are still needing to have accomplished. And also pre-wires. For some reason, pre-wires have had a big uptick for us as well. These last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think new construction sites are seen as I've seen a lot on Instagram this week, a lot of installers working on new construction sites because they're the only people there. So they're turning up maybe on their own, one or two people within their company, and they're pre-wiring a house. It's taking them a couple of days, whatever the timescales are, but they're seen as not interfering with anybody's space. They're in an isolated area, but I still question the to and fro to work, the trips to the shops, the trips to the supplier. I think it'll start to become difficult to continue that, because it will be questioned. And this is where I think ultimately some of the tasks we think are essential will be seen as not essential. Like construction sites, I expect to be closed down. You probably get away with it when they're just home managed, by the client, homeowner type construction projects. You might get away with that, a bit of leeway. But any large construction sites, I would expect them to be heavily restricted going forwards. And then a slowdown in access to product and supplies. If your supplier, your wholesaler is not open, like we got an email from the one that we use quite a lot today, they're closed. So I physically cannot get accessories for electrical work, accessories for data and networking equipment that we buy from them. So, you can't magic the product out of nowhere, so.
That's what's going on right now. But looking down the road, Gamble, whenever we do start to see recovery, and things start to open back up. And what do you anticipate? How do you think business is going to be, whenever, some of these restrictions are taken off?
I think business will go back to normal pretty quickly in terms of the volume of work. Will ramp up very fast. It'll be a challenge managing all the work that had built up that was delayed or postponed. And then you'll get all your new inquiries. There's going to be, a feel-good factor will return when it comes, and people will start to, start on projects that maybe they've found stuff in their home that needs addressing. When things get back to normal, we're definitely sorting out our home network. We're definitely sorting out our entertainment setup. We're definitely going to spend some money on landscape lighting or outdoor entertainment. These are just assumptions that's going to happen, but I think people will see some weaknesses in their home after spending time in their home, and like you say, other things like security. I think as another thing that may get addressed afterwards. But I think for a period, people don't want us coming to their house, and I'm quite all right with that.
I'm hoping that things go back to normal. I'm a little bit more pessimistic than that, just in the sense of I do see that the essentials are going to continue to be, or find to be necessities. Alarm system, security, is Wi-Fi. And I hope they still want to invest in their audio systems or their lighting systems. Definitely, I think video is going to continue to be a need. Mounting it or investing in that additional labor, I don't know, it's kind of questionable. And it's not that they don't want it. I think that the resources are just going to be tighter, and people are going to have to make some difficult decisions, or some of those decisions might be a little bit easier for them to make now on where do they want to invest in their home, and so that kind of makes me as a business owner have to reevaluate our service packages, what we're actually going to be, how much can I give back to my community and still be able to make a living, for our kids, and put a roof, and food, and vehicles, and college, that type of stuff, for my family. And what I mean by give back is, am I going to have to charge less to still keep working, because there's less resources for people to use to provide for services, because they still have the same types of needs as I do, with shelter, and it's small business, challenging times, Gamble. It's gonna be an interesting.
But again, maybe me being the optimist is it's in our own hands. We're the business owners. We'll be able to assess the situation, that's what's unfolding in front of us, and be adaptable to the opportunities that come. If the opportunities are in security and networking and connectivity, then that's a skill set that all businesses in our industries have. So we should adapt to that opportunity. If the opportunity is something else, whether it's new construction, whether it's in the refurbishment, remodeling markets, this is things that our industry has got experience in. So there will be the opportunities. You might not go back to what you did before. It's about being flexible to what opportunities are going to come in the new normal that's going to appear. Maybe this is the point where we should all be looking more at wellness and health, air purification, so that we're all living healthier and our immune systems are better. Should we be looking more in sleep tech, health technology to provide healthier homes, smarter homes for our customer base?
Yeah, absolutely. Gamble, this has been an interesting episode for us. Usually it's a little bit more positive and up tempo and, this kind of a backbeat episode for us for sure. And, you know, Digital Ramblers, Gamble and I, we're going to continue to keep this weekly broadcast going. As you can see, we're not necessarily in the studio right now, and I don't know when we'll be able to get back into the studio, but I can tell you that Gamble and I, we're committed to bringing you good content about technology that is passionate to us and ways that we are using it to improve homeowners' lives on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed going off piste a little bit with this topic, but I think what will make this conversation run on further is if we get engagement, if we can get some comments, likes, shares, and add to the conversation and adapt that conversation in a direction that you need it to go to, and we can react to that with more videos, whether it's short, sharp videos on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. But we want to be part of the discussions in our industry to help each other come out of this in a positive way, so that we're all prepared and ready to go when the doors get open and we're all allowed to go out and play again. Yeah. We want to encourage conversation on this topic.
Yeah. All right, friends, for those that don't know, tune into this show and find a home tech pro. I don't know, I just added a Gamble. Hopefully that's all right.
Always freestyling.
All right, friends, y'all take care. Be safe. Be healthy.